Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's review we're going to be taking a look at the newly released Hot Toys 1/6 scale Avengers Endgame Captain America. Now if you are looking to add this figure here to your collection, he is currently available and in stock right now over at Lion Rock Toys, and for that of course I shall include a link down in the description box below. This has got to be one of the most anticipated figures to be released by Hot Toys based on the Avengers Endgame movie, as unfortunately from how the movie ended it does appear as if this shall be the last appearance of Chris Evans in the cinematic universe. But regardless, starting off firstly by taking a look here at the slew of accessories that you do get included with this figure, you can see that he comes with a great array of accessories. Kicking things off, we shall first begin by taking a look here at this amazing Chris Evans Steve Rogers head sculpt. This in my opinion has got to be the best Hot Toys head sculpt that I currently own in my collection. This looks so accurate and is so realistic. The paintwork, the sculpt work, everything about it, even the reflectiveness to the eyes truly is astonishing. I have actually gone back and looked at some of the past Chris Evans head sculpts for some of the Hot Toys figures, and in my opinion this has got to be the best one yet. Now unfortunately, from my experience of actually swapping the heads out, you can see how some of the blue dye from the suit has actually rubbed off here on the neck. It's not a massive deal breaker as you don't really see this region when the head is inserted on, although I would definitely be cautious of this section underneath where the chin is, as of course if you do decide to articulate the head it would be very easy for the collar section to accidentally rub against this. But regardless, you can see here that it is definitely a fantastic sculpt. Of course, if you have seen the movie, you will know that in the final battle, Captain America is indeed worthy of wielding Mjolnir, and you can see that as far as the sculpt and paintwork is concerned here for this piece, this once again has turned out so nicely. I love all of the intricate detailings here on the sides of the hammer. The weathering too is amazing, and the paint applications truly do make this piece here look like a die-cast material, when in reality, besides this section here at the bottom, it has been completely cast out of plastic. Taking a look here at the hollow helmet, much like you will see when we actually do take a look at Captain America's armoured head sculpt, the detailing on this piece too has come out incredibly well. For a piece which many collectors perhaps will not have displayed alongside this figure, they truly have gone all out. The sculpt as well as the paintwork looks magnificent, and for those of you asking, nope, this hollow helmet cannot fit over the Steve Rogers head sculpt. I have tried and this here is way too small, but regardless, you can see that here for the exterior, the paint and sculpt work looks fantastic. Of course, we do get an array of individually sculpted gestured hands as well as a pair of fisted hands, which you shall see when we actually do take a look at the figure. The paint and the sculpt work for all of these looks incredible. We do also get included this very tiny vintage compass, and the exterior detailing on this too has come out so nicely, although you can actually open this to reveal a really nice image there of Peggy Carter, and you can see that looks as if it has been directly taken out of the movie, and I love the attention to detail for such a minute piece. Turning to some of the more noticeable and larger accessories, of course we do get included two different versions of the vibranium shield, the first of which is a little more of a pristine complete version that we do see him wield throughout the first two acts of the movie, and the sculpt as well as the paintwork on this piece too has come out really nicely. Much like the hammer, this here has been completely cast out of plastic, but the paintwork definitely would give you the impression that it was a die-cast piece. As we flip here to the underside, you can see various different buckles and straps, of which you can actually take this adapter piece to attach onto one of these sections and actually harness it to Captain America's back, or of course you can take the straps and actually have him wielding it on the side of the arm. As we turn our attention here to the battle damage shield, I love how this looks, and I really love how they did go the extra mile to actually include these two fragmented sections. Of course in the movie I don't believe we actually do see these pieces, it is merely just this, and of course it is pretty much broken in a flash when Thanos does slash his huge sword on it, but you can see that as far as the sculpt and paintwork is concerned for this piece, it has too come out really nicely. If anything, I do believe the weathering is a little too light on this piece, especially considering that here for the more pristine version it is a lot dirtier than compared to this, which is supposed to be the look from the latter half of the movie. But regardless, the paint and the sculpt work for all of these pieces have come out incredibly well. We also do get included two interchangeable faceplates and a more neutral expression which is already pre-installed on the figure fresh out of the packaging. These are very easy to swap out as they are simply held in via magnets, and I shall demonstrate how to do that in this particular segment. We also do get included, of course, the display base. Now, very simplistic as far as its design is concerned. I do love the visual appearance that we do get here for the base. You can see how we have got a blend of pink and blue, of course with a very reflective material here for this half, and of course the Avengers Endgame logo with Captain America written there on the base. So with all that being said, that just about wraps up here for the accessories. Let's bring Captain America in himself and take a closer look at the detail. Bringing Captain America in here for a closer look, much like I mentioned in my previously reviewed Iron Man Mark 85 Hot Toys review, I have waited for pretty much the final version of these characters before deciding to add them to my collection, and I am so glad that I did, as this in my opinion is by far the best Captain America that we have gotten from Hot Toys to date. Of course, I have had no personal experience of actually handling the previous figures, although looking at some of the other reviews and looking at some of the other pictures, this one here does appear to be the best. I also love the suit design from Avengers Endgame, and I believe Hot Toys have captured his appearance perfectly. You can see that as far as that helmeted head sculpt is concerned, it truly does look fantastic. The sculpt and the paintwork is remarkable, and you can also once again see that reflective tint to the eyes in order to aid a very authentic look. You can also see here the third interchangeable faceplate, which is indeed a more neutral, more generic expression, or of course you can swap it out for some of the other expressions that I showcased in the accessory segment. As we turn our attention here to the actual suit itself, I'm continued to be blown away not only at Hot Toys sculpt and paintwork, but also at their tailoring work. It looks incredible. The suit is so perfectly fitted to the body. You can see all of the individual seams, the sculpt work there for the Avengers logo on the shoulder pad. Even as we turn our attention here to the back, you can see the buckle and braces. Everything just looks amazing. Turning our attention here down to the lower section of the body, you can once again see how it does appear as if this section has been weathered, of course, to match what we saw in the movie, and I really do love how it looks. You can also see some of the muscular definition actually underneath the suit, which too gives you the impression that we are dealing with a character of which is a bigger build, and I really find it to be rather impressive that they were still able to give you that impression despite this figure being completely coated in real materials. You can also see here that we have the fisted hands, which do come pre-installed fresh out of the packaging, and much like some of the alternate hands, the sculpt and paintwork too has come out exceptionally well. The instructions do also mention how you can remove the belt, although in my opinion I'm quite unsure as to why you would wish to do that, as I don't believe it was a look that we saw in the movie, and to be honest it's more trouble than it is actually worth, but just note that it is definitely an option. You can see all of the different pockets and braces here on this piece, and I think this too has turned out exceptionally well. And then finally, turning our attention here down to the lower section of the legs, you can once again see that amazing seam detailing as well as what appears to be a dirty wash applied over the top, just to better match his appearance from the final act of the movie, and of course to give you that extra sense of realism. Taking a look here towards the boots, these two have been sculpted and painted exceptionally well. These are made out of a slightly firmer, harder plastic than compared to, of course, what you would get here for the top section here of the chest, but regardless, their paint and sculpt work definitely does give you a very realistic impression. As far as articulation is concerned, we do get a ball joint here at the head, which is able to look up that far as well as down. He can of course tilt side to side as well as look left to right. We also do get a ball joint here at the neck, although as discussed in my accessory overview, I shall be trying my best to minimize actually using that, as I really do not want to rub any of the blue dye from the suit onto the actual head sculpt itself. We do get roughly a 90-degree range of motion here at the arm, although due to the nature of the design and the fact that we are indeed dealing with real tailored clothes, it does slightly restrict this. Of course, the arm here can move out to the side. It does appear as if we do get a bicep rotation as well as a butterfly joint, and of course we do get a 90-degree bend there at the elbow, which could probably go slightly further. However, once again, due to the nature of the design and me wanting to preserve the clothing, I shan't be pushing it to the full extent. We do get a rotation here at the ball peg as well as a hinge joint which can rock forwards and backwards. We do also get an ab crunch, which can of course crunch forwards as well as backwards. Of course, this could probably go slightly further, although I am taking caution when actually handling this figure, and it can of course tilt side to side and also rotate left to right slightly. We do get a hinge joint here at the leg, although I have found this range of motion to be slightly limited, and once again I really do not want to put any pressure on the seams that we get here at the back or at the front, so this is as far as I shall be going in this review. He can do the splits, however once again is slightly restricted. We do get a double range of motion here at the knee, although once again is rather restricted. And then finally, taking a look here at the foot, we do get a boot swivel, an ankle rocker pivot which can hinge forward and backwards, as well as of course rock side to side. So as far as articulation is concerned, Captain America certainly has pretty much all of the joints that you would want, although some of them are slightly compromised due to the nature of the design and of course the incorporation of real life materials. And here for a 1/6 scale Hot Toys size comparison, we have the all new Endgame Captain America compared next to the Iron Man Mark 85, as well as just for fun the Justice League Hot Toys Batman. And you can see that as far as the scaling is concerned, I believe it is pretty much spot on. Of course, between himself and the Mark 85, I really do love how these characters look posed alongside one another, and this is definitely the scale that we saw within the movie. And here for one final comparison, we have Endgame Captain America compared next to the Shield Destroyer himself, the armoured Thanos, and in my opinion, the scale between these two figures is pretty much spot on, and I just cannot wait till after this review to have both of these posed alongside one another on the shelf. And so, some final thoughts. Much like you would expect from Hot Toys, overall this figure here is awesome. As far as the paint, sculpt and tailoring is concerned, I believe that it is pretty much spot on, or at the very least is as close they could get it in the 1/6 scale. This figure looks remarkable. As far as the head sculpts are concerned, in particular the unhelmeted version, I believe that it looks pretty much spot on to what we saw from the movie. The likeness is so well done, and as mentioned, despite me not owning any of the previously released 1/6 scale Hot Toys Captain America figures, just by judging from some of the images and reviews online, I'm pretty confident in saying that this is by far the best sculpt that we have gotten to date. The helmeted head sculpt too also looks awesome, and I really like the options you get from swapping out some of those faceplates. I believe he comes with a great array of accessories. If I had any critiques with the accessories, it's that I would have loved to have seen perhaps some lightning bolts, much like we have seen from some of the Thor figures, or even some of the electric effects that we got with the Flash, although they are all minor critiques for what is otherwise a very well done figure with everything included. I love the attention to detail, the battle damage shield, as well as the inclusion of those fragmented pieces will for sure create for a fantastic looking diorama, especially if you do own the armoured Thanos. Overall, I think this figure here has turned out superb, and as this is potentially Chris Evans' last ever portrayal as Captain America in the MCU, I believe that he is a must-have for any Hot Toys 1/6 scale collector. With all that being said, if you are looking to add him to your collection, he is currently available and in stock right now over at Lion Rock Toys, and for that of course I shall include a link down in the description box below. I really hope that you enjoyed this review. If you did, please do also let me know down in the comment section below, and also be sure to let me know your thoughts on the figure itself. I thank you all for watching, and until my next review, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.